Hello, everybody. This is Gus from Askewed Reviews, and I'm doing another episode of Retro Madness. Madness, madness, madness. Anyway, so what this is something that a friend of mine created, and that friend just so happens to be a fellow member of Cinema Society Saturday called Matthew from Horror Madness. Now, what Matthew is trying to do is leading up to October 31st, he is trying to watch and review 50 80s horror films. Now, recently, what he's done is he's partnered up with some of his friends so that we give him a suggestion of one of those films, and then he actually gives us one back as well. So this time around, Matthew gave me the film of House from 1985, which was directed by Steve Miner. House, by the way, is one of the horror movies I absolutely grew up on. This one was very entertaining, and I still like it to this day. So, in this film, we have our main character of Roger Cobb. Now, Roger used to live in a house with his aunt, along with his wife and their son. But one day, their son went missing. So then he and his wife ended up getting a divorce, and they kind of went their separate ways for the time being. Now, we then flash forward where his aunt has unfortunately taken her own life, and now the house is left to him. At first, Roger begins to notice some weird and strange things, and then begins seeing those things as well, and it just keeps going downhill from there. I'm not going to reveal too much more from there because you should absolutely check this out for yourself. So, I really like the characters and the story for this one, and I especially love the practical effects. Probably one of the few things that I had an issue with is every once in a while when a song would come on, it felt very abrupt. Even though the scene would kind of sync up to it eventually, it just felt very random and out of place. Some of the primary cast you would absolutely recognize from different television series. For instance, William Catt, who plays Roger, is actually from The Greatest American Hero. George Wendt, you would recognize from Cheers, and Richard Mole, you would recognize from Night Court. So for me, I'm going to give this film a 3 out of 5. Now, if you want to watch it yourself, it's currently streaming for free on Prime, Tubi, Hoopla, Pluto, and Plex. And then when you get a chance, absolutely go and check Matthew's stuff at Horror Madness, not just because of his great content, but because I gave him the film of Night of the Demons. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Retro Madness. Maybe I'll put out another one, but if not, keep checking out the ones that Matthew is putting out himself.